I think it goes without saying that beta Minecraft has been quite a popular topic in the community as of recent. One look at YouTube will show you brand new Let's Play series, 100 days, and retrospectives on why beta Minecraft was so good. Most, if not all of these, are talking about the beta 1.7.3 version, which was the last update before features like sprinting and hunger were added to the game, mechanically changing Minecraft as we'd know it forever. Given all this talk about old versions of the game, I wanted to spend 24 hours in this quote golden age version of Minecraft to see if it's all nostalgia or if this version is actually superior to what's in the modern day. Here's what I learned after 24 hours. Starting off with aspects I liked about beta Minecraft, the first thing I want to bring up is the mining experience. Mining felt so much more impactful in this version of the game, and as a result, it was more enjoyable. When strip mining is just such a more laid-back experience that was way more exciting at the same time due to no enchantments like fortune, or you didn't have any automated farms for things like iron and gold, which essentially just removed any incentive to mine those ores entirely. And all of that meant that each time I found something like a diamond vein or even something as simple as coal, it was way more memorable and meant much more to me as a player. While on the topic, caving in this version felt much more fun too. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the new cave generation in modern versions of the game, but very rarely do I ever feel like I'm in danger, and beta Minecraft gave me that feeling like no other. With 0 enchants to give me protection, no shields to block attacks, no totems to give me a second chance, and only limited space in my inventory for healing items, it made each encounter with mobs underground something that I'd need to think smartly about. It was as if I was invading their homes in the deep dark underground, and if I wanted the riches that were held within, I'd actually need to put up a fight and think about what I'm doing to get them. The next thing I liked, which does have a downside I'll talk about later, is that beta Minecraft has no inherent goal for the player to accomplish, and this just gave me a feeling of creativity that I haven't felt in a long while. Whenever I'd get the idea to build something, I wouldn't waste any time whatsoever, and I would just do it right on the spot because what else am I going to be spending my time doing? After this happening time and time again, I realized I had built a compound that was completely safe from mobs and was filled to the brim with all sorts of structures dotted throughout. While on the topic of builds, and again this is a pro and a con that I'll talk about later, the limited block palette in beta Minecraft really led to that distinct Minecraft look that so many people talk about. You could have a server of 50 people at one time and have them all live close by and build their own structures, and everything would seamlessly blend together and look pretty good given what people are left to work with. This plays a big part in what I feel makes beta Minecraft so nostalgic whenever people look back on it, compared to, at least by comparison, the complex builds and insane amounts of blocks that people can use nowadays to build just about anything under the sun. Or outside the sun too, because players today are building straight up universes. Next up, I'd like to talk about our good friend the minecart, because with limited means to move throughout your world, minecarts actually feel like a worthwhile investment and not just a cog in a machine or something that you use for decoration. Me spending time to set up one of these in my mineshaft was absolutely huge because it meant that I could use it literally all the time, and it saved me tons of time as a result. In modern versions, players have been begging Mojang for a buff to minecarts, so hopefully they listen sometime soon and make them useful again. The last thing I'd like to mention that I loved about my experience is of course what many of you probably have predicted by now, the world generation. Now, I'm no expert, but to my understanding, the world generation is set in such a way that it doesn't matter what biome you're in, the world is just going to generate a set way regardless, which would mean that you'll find absolutely jaw-dropping hills and mountains in the middle of a forest and can find that same level of generation in a place like the deserts. Now, I personally don't find many faults with the current Minecraft generation, as I feel like it has tons of wow factor moments, just like recently in my hardcore series, but beta Minecraft's generation just feels so magical. Like seriously, floating islands can generate, so can we bring those back as a frequent thing in the overworld, please? With all the things I liked out of the way, let's go ahead and move on over to things that I didn't really care for that much. I firstly want to talk about the movement. Now, not being able to sprint is a huge aspect of beta Minecraft, and while I think that allows you to enjoy the game at a slower pace, it makes things harder, and incentivizes you to use things like minecarts, it actively discouraged me from wanting to explore my world and mainly stick to my spawn. Perhaps if horses were in this version of the game, that could have been completely nullified, but unfortunately it felt like such a slog because I would need to travel thousands of blocks to explore and make that exact same really slow trek back with needing to deal with beta Minecraft's super annoying boat mechanics at the same time. Next up, I want to talk about something that's probably going to be a bit controversial, but I do not like the combat in beta Minecraft. Now, before you get your pitchforks and attack me in the comments, I totally get the appeal of this style of combat for PvP players, but when it comes to Minecraft as a whole, it just makes the game boring for me. Sure, the game is harder from things like no sprint, no enchantments, limited inventory for food, etc., but it doesn't quite come all together for making the best possible experience when my diamond sword can just 2-hit every mob I come across, and I can spam click it at that. It just felt super dull to me and made me appreciate fighting enemies in the modern versions that much more. While on the topic of combat, armor in this version is just super frustrating to deal with. As your armor loses durability, so does its effectiveness at protecting you. And while this sounds cool on paper, I think this mechanic would have been much better implemented if armor didn't take damage when you fell, and if it had more durability in general. And lastly, I was thinking about discussing the nether because it truly just exists for netherrack to be a burning block, glowstone to be a light block, and pigmen to give you food, but I feel like it's a bit unfair since the nether in general was pretty lackluster up until the nether update, so I'm gonna let that slide, and instead the last thing I'm going to talk about is a bit of a branch off of one of the points I made earlier, and that is beta Minecraft having no inherent goal. Now, while I do enjoy this aspect of the beta version for sparking more of my creativity, I do feel like it severely limits the replayability of the game. Sure, back in the day, people would spend countless hours, days, weeks, and months on the same beta worlds, but that's because Minecraft was a completely new game and one of its kind. So of course, people are going to put that many hours into a brand new generational game. Nowadays though, as a longtime player and someone who knows what opportunities the modern version gives me in terms of objectives, I felt pretty content with calling it quits for my world once the 24-hour time limit was up. So with all that said, let's move on to a world tour. Alright, so welcome to the world tour. Oh, wait, hold on. Give me a second. Alright, so here we are in the actual world this time. I have all of my stuff, so I think we're good to go. Before I move on over to my little compound slash settlement, I figured that I would go ahead and walk on over here because this is the only thing that I really did outside of that central area. And that is, of course, doing what every Minecrafter at some point in their life needs to do. And that is, of course, digging out a 16 by 16 chunk just for the fun of it. Now, these chests basically have all of the stuff that I ended up getting from this venture, and unfortunately, I never got around to using any of this stuff aside from, you know, some iron and whatnot, but really didn't do much with any of those materials. I kind of just dug a chunk just to do it. And if you are curious, I only got 6 diamonds from that, so I really didn't get much of anything. But yeah, let's go ahead and enter into the compound and enter in to my little town that I created here. So the first thing that you might notice is, of course, well, I'm not proud of it, but it kind of gets lonely in beta Minecraft, as you might assume. There's really not much life in your world aside from you and some animals. So I created villagers, and yeah, they're scattered around. I might be going schizophrenic, but I felt the need to do so. Now here we have my mine shaft, which we'll explore in a little bit, but this is where I got basically all of my resources aside from that chunk mine over there. And fun fact, the chunk mine actually intercepts with this mine, so they are kind of connected. Aside from that, we have a little bit of a market district here, which of course we don't have any villagers, so I can't exactly populate them. We have a little man-made lake that I did over here because I didn't really know what else to put. Originally, this started as a water fountain, but it kind of turned into a lava fountain because I like to see the old lava texture. I think it looks really cool. You're very loud. Here we have an iron golem before iron golems were a thing. So congratulations for you existing. Basically anything outside of these walls is a whole lot of nothing. I haven't really built outside of these walls aside from what you see right there, which kind of is a decent segue in for me to mention that yes, I have done all the achievements that you can do in beta Minecraft. And just to prove it, which I don't think any of you guys doubt me, but just to do so, since we are looking at the achievements, I'll go ahead and pull up these statistics as well. And as you can see, I have played 1.01 days, or a little over 24 hours. And you can also see my other stats here as well. Anyways, going on with the tour, you can probably notice that I've gone for an old Minecraft aesthetic by using the gravel roads. I'm not exactly trying to make everything look too fancy, and I even have a lot of leaves around here. Now, fun fact with the leaves, and it's kind of the reason why I'm using the fast graphics, is you have to have them next to logs if you ever want to place them. Even if you place them yourself, they will decay, and you have to put a log under every single or around every single leaf. And I like building with leaves, and I think it looks really ugly that you can see through the leaves and see the logs, so I play on the fast graphics, even though I don't have to. Aside from that, you might notice we have a few, park benches around here. We also light up the entire area with a bunch of torches and glowstone. Moving on over here, we have, I don't really know why I built this. This was one of those spur of the moment things that I just thought about doing it and I did it. And this essentially just kind of is a little house with a farm under it. You got a little chest with some wheat, and I never once used this. This actually isn't my house. I don't live in here or do anything in here. It's just something that I made just for the fun of it. And I kind of thought about populating it with a bunch of beds so that the townspeople of this compound can like have a place to sleep. But then I realized that I am probably going absolutely insane because they don't need to sleep. They are a fence post, a block of wool, and a jack-o'-lantern. Anyways, aside from that, we have some puppies here. We got 1 and 2. The only reason that I have these guys is because they spawned in my compound, so I figured it was meant to be. We have a little bit of a wheat field here, followed up by Dave, and Dave sits on the dock. He's a dock keep, and he does a pretty good job of sitting here and that kind of stuff. Basically, this dock served just one purpose, and the only purpose that it served, if I can find it, is for me to catch and cook a fish. That was it. That's the whole reason that this dock exists, and Dave does a great job at defending it. You might have noticed that over there, and this was a little something that I built just for the heck of it. It's very worthless because you can just use a boat and go over there, but this is essentially a system that you can build that will allow you to row a boat through it, and you can just ride the water currents and go a little bit faster. It's kind of cool. I remember seeing a really old video about this during beta Minecraft and wanted to build it myself and see if it worked. So I built a way out over to that mainland over there and built a way back just for the heck of it. Again, a lot of this stuff has no purpose. I just built it to build it. Over here, we have the nether portal. I'm not going to go in there because there really is nothing to look at. I didn't do any building. I literally just went in there for glowstone and nothing else. Here we have the sugarcane farm. I decided to put little slabs on top of the water blocks for in here, since you can't put, I don't think lily pads are in this version, and you can't put trapdoors over those either yet. So I just used a bunch of slabs for that, and I never used any of the sugarcane outside of making like 3 bookshelves. Cactus farm right here. I think I used this just a little bit to build a little green market over there, a little market stand, and that's about it. Over here, actually, is where I got the Where Pigs Can Fly achievement, or at least I think it's called that, When Pigs Fly. And I built a gigantic dirt tower, got a pig on top of it, smacked him off, and he fell and died. And he used up one of my saddles, because you don't get saddles back for some reason in beta Minecraft, but I did get the achievement, so it was worth it. Anyways, here we have my starter house. This was the very first thing that I built, and everything else around this area is just kind of me building off of that. So whenever you walk in, we have a little bookshelf here, crafting bench if I'm trying to make some stuff out there, and there's one centralized chest, and this is kind of just a bit of a treasure chest. We have the first ever diamond that I ever mined on this world. I do that with basically every diamond in any world that I play. We have a bunch of cookies because get cocoa beans from dungeons, they're pretty rare, and combine that with wheat, you can make cookies. And then we also have more pumpkin heads in case I needed to make more villagers, which I did not. Now under here is originally where I had a nether portal, but the nether portal is so loud in beta Minecraft that I ended up moving it. And down here, this is where I keep my cake. And well, actually I keep it on my backside, but this is where I keep this cake. And then right here, it's kind of just a little underwater thing. Basically any Minecraft player that's ever played Minecraft, they've done something underwater just for the sake of it, just to be cool. And that's kind of why I built that. Now, going upstairs, this is the last of the house, obviously. We have the actual smelting area right there, and we have all of the blocks that I have to my name, aside from that little chunk mine that I showed you guys. And what you'll notice is I don't really have many items, and that's because I basically use everything that I get. I never really found a need to have that much stuff stockpiled, because this is the beta version. There's not really that many items in the game yet. Aside from that, we have my little wheat field right here, and as you might notice, I can walk on top of it, I can jump, and there are no issues whatsoever. If you guys are unfamiliar, there's actually a mechanic in the beta version of the game, where if you put fence post under farmland, it's not going to get screwed up, because the game basically thinks that you're walking on top of the fence post instead, and that's why the wheat field over there and over there don't get trampled by the passive mobs. Aside from that, of course, walking over here, we have some more glowstone, we have some more benches. This right here was a house that I built, again, just for the sake of it. There is really zero reason why I did this. And yeah, that's basically the compound. Looping back over here, iron golem before iron golems were a thing, little man-made pond, lava fountain and everything. That's basically it. Next up, I guess I can show you guys what the mineshaft situation is looking like. I'm gonna go and grab a minecart and making our way on over to the mineshaft. We'll go ahead and turn that down. And a little bit of a epilepsy warning, I guess. The minecart camera goes a little crazy in the beta versions, and there's a part of this ride where the camera gets whipped around a lot. And I just want to let you guys know, because it's a little disorienting even for me. And it's pretty bad. I hate the way that minecarts handle in this version of the game, because they are so essential to getting around. It's very unfortunate that minecarts are a little wonky like this, but you know, it is the beta version of the game. And anyways, this is where I did the majority of my mining. A lot of these go off into caves. Down here is the main diamond mine. You'll see that I have a sign set up, massive cave ahead, which I never ended up exploring all of. And these straight lines right here were really just me trying to find some caves so that I could get some dungeons, so that I could finish off the When Pigs Fly achievement. Unfortunately though, I did go my entire time playing this version without getting a golden apple, which are pretty rare in this version, so I can't necessarily say that I beat beta Minecraft until I get one of those, I feel like. But again, you know, 24-hour time limit, I didn't really have all that much time to search for dungeons, and I wanted to do a lot of building, you know. So yeah guys, this is my progress after 24 hours in beta Minecraft. And before I do sign off, I kind of want to take you guys on the monorail that I created for the On a Rail achievement, because, well, why not? We'll also get to see some of beta's generation as well. And while we go on this ride, I kind of just want to reflect on the time that I had playing this version of the game. I haven't played a beta version of Minecraft since I was a kid, whenever I first started playing the game. It's never really occurred to me to go out of my way and play old versions of the game, because I've normally been playing other stuff, or when I am playing Minecraft, I'm more enthralled with the modern versions. And what I will say is, despite not agreeing with everything that Mojang does or how they go about developing the game, I kind of want to say that beta 1.7.3 kind of gave me a new appreciation for the modern versions of the game. And although, you know, I didn't hate my time with beta 1.7.3 at all, even though I did give some criticisms of it and, gave some cons here and there, this still was a very, very, very fun quote unquote experiment, I guess you could say, that I just enjoyed a lot. It really just started as a bit of a passion thing for me to do in the background and turned into a video for me to document my experience with the game. And it kind of just gave me a newfound respect for the current state of Minecraft and kind of just, I don't know, makes me enjoy the modern versions and makes me enjoy seeing the journey that Minecraft in general has gone on since this game first came into my life, whenever I was a little kid. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you guys did enjoy the thought process and the opinions that I had behind everything involving this game and this current version of the game. I definitely don't hate beta 1.7.3. I had a lot of fun with it, but would I call it the current best iteration of Minecraft? Not exactly. I still enjoy what Mojang has done, and I'm still having a lot of fun with the current versions of the game. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know your opinions, of course, in the comments down below. And if you're watching this point in the video and you haven't already subscribed, first off, I appreciate you watching all the way. And second, please subscribe if you would like to see more content from me. But yeah, guys, that's it for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.